Hello again, welcome back to Greenlambkin Yarn. Once again, apologies for background noise. There is a boy in the room next door but one to me playing games on his Switch and getting a little bit excited. Once again, summer holiday problems. And it's feeling very overcast and threatening rain, which it wasn't forecast today, so I'm keeping one eye out to see what's occurring with the weather, because I've got the washing on the line and also got a nice cup of hot chocolate to warm me up. So if you watched the vlog that the podcast that I uploaded yesterday, which was part 1 of the podcast, this is part 2, and I'm going to be talking about acquisitions over the last goodness knows how many months, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months. And shop news. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. Now, bear with me. I will say there are a lot of acquisitions, but it has been a long time. And there has been a birthday, and there have been 2 yarn shows. So bear all that in mind before you judge me too harshly. First off, I'm going to talk about my sock set. My sock club swaps that I'm doing with Charlotte from Wild Magic Yarn. So Charlotte, I've been sending Charlotte my works of William Shakespeare sock club every month, and she has been sending me her Yarnimal Crossing club every month, and it's just gorgeous. So hopefully if you receive this club, you'll have already opened them and everything, but just fair warning in case you haven't. That's what I'm going to be showing now. So you saw the January instalment, which was those purpley bluey Winterfest socks that I knitted. So that was the first one, and then the second one, each one comes with some stickers, some of which I've already used or given to Ivy, and then a couple of progress keepers as well. So February was Festivale. Oh, they've turned round again. I just flipped those over once. There we go, look. Beautiful sort of peacocky shaped progress keepers. And it's all these gorgeous neon, beautiful colours. So that was February. Now this one says April, but I think it was meant to be March. It's called Cherry Blossom Season. And this one has, oh, it's so beautiful. It has these flowery progress keepers, if you can see those, blossomy ones. And then we've got Sunny Hair. Got this lovely, delicate, pale pinkies with speckles of dark pinks and brown. That would make a beautiful patterned pair of socks, because it's really almost a semi-solid with just the gentlest speckling. I really love that. And then this one was the real April one. This is called, oh, hang on a minute. We've got 3 progress keepers here. This one was called Bunny Day, and this one I'm going to save until Easter next year. It's just the most delicate pastel-y colours. And then we've got, can't make this turn around properly. I've got a blue Easter egg with flowers on it, and a little pink bunny, and then I've got this bigger bunny as well. So that's gorgeous. That's going to be Easter socks. And then May, this is a character from the game Animal Crossing, I'm assuming. I don't know a lot about Animal Crossing. It's not one that my kids have ventured into, but can't get him to turn around. This is called Tom Nook, and I'm guessing that's the little dude there. And then I've got these 2 progress keepers. So a money bag, and then like a little head, which is adorable, and then a coin, which is sparkly, but I'm not showing them very well. And each month these come with stickers, and some months I've given them to Ivy or used them myself, and other months they're still with the yarn. So they're the stickers for this one, which is really cute. And each one has like an individual card, which you can, if you're like a journaler or whatever, you could put that into your journal, which would be lovely. So that's Tom Nook. And then the July one, which was, I think, my favourite of the ones I've got here to date, is called Wedding Season. And look, it's got these beautiful bright speckles in amongst all these lovely pale colours, and then it's got these gorgeous two heart progress keepers. I'm really excited to knit with this one. I can't wait to see how it all knits up. Those speckles are doing it for me. Okay, so that's all of the sock club to date. Thinking about knitting some socks for Cosmo with this. I think he would really like those colours. And he's overdue a pair of socks. Right, next I'm going to show you my general acquisitions, some of which are birthday gifts. Oh, I'm so sorry. Some of which were treats to myself. If you watched the video that I did the other day, you'll have seen me talking about chromatic yarns and the socks that I knitted with that. And I did actually buy myself this one, and this is called Cyberpunk Dungeon. And it's just so Halloweeny. Look at that. Oh, that splash of orange. There's pinks, there's blacks, neon yellow, all on this grey-black background. And she packages them in this, I think it's like eco cellophane. I'm pretty sure it can be composted. And it's the most delightfully crinkly thing ever. I don't want to get rid of it. Hannah's Sparkle Sock Base is so blooming lovely. It's Lurex rather than Stellina. And there's something about the way that it's spun that I just enjoy so much. I don't know if I'm going to get to knit that this October or Halloween, because I have other things as well. But it's definitely going to be reserved for that time of year. The next is a gift. It wasn't for my birthday, but it was just a little present that so special to me. I've been keeping it on one side in this bag so that I could show it whilst it's in pristine condition. But once I have shown it, I'm going to add it to my jewellery collection. There are some lovely stickers in here. And this is from Franny Do Makes. If you watch her podcast, she was making one of these for herself, and little did I know, she made one for me as well. So this is a necklace, which is made out of many crochet circles, tiny little crochet discs. Show it close up. Just do this so the bits don't come off. And these are all made out of, look, see, tiny little discs. I mean, the amount of darning in that Fran must have done here. And these are all made with leftover scraps from the Secret Treasure Box Blanket Club, which I dyed last year. So that's like a little memento of all of the different yarns, and I'm thrilled to bits with it. And I mean, you could just wear it with anything because it's so many lovely bright colours, and it will just go, I mean, it'd lift up something dark, or you could wear it with any of those colours and it would really work well with them all, wouldn't it? So I'm definitely going to be putting that on my jewellery stand tree now, so that I can wear that. And I've already said thank you to Fran, but I'll say it again now because I'm absolutely thrilled to bits. Thank you, Flower. What should I show you next? Oh, this one. This is a pretty old acquisition. Not that old, but if you watch either Ali from Little Drops of Wonderful or Kelly from Lay Family Yarn, you will have seen that Ali has done another collaboration with them and dyed a colourway called Whimsical Wonderland, and I had to get myself a sock set because if ever a colourway had my name written all over it. And I don't care what anybody says, about this, but it is autumnal to me. It's like fiery acer leaves and autumnal sunsets, and it's perfection. So I'm going to hopefully be casting a pair of socks for myself on with this at some point in the not too distant future, but I'm absolutely thrilled to bits with it, and I can't wait to knit it. The colours are just so delicious. I know, this was, I received a lovely box of goodies from Gaynor, from Tales from Cuckoo Land and Gaynor Jane. If you don't watch her, you must go and watch her. I mean this about all of the different podcasts that I might mention. She's absolutely lovely. And she sent me a little box of prezzies because I sent her some plates that I got from the flea market in Chesterfield. So, it was sort of a birthday box, and there were all sorts of little bits and bobs in it. Lovely handmade ceramic, like the kind of things that you put the essential oil on and then hang in your wardrobe. There was a lovely little bowl, which I've got jewellery in on my dressing table, and all sorts of different bits and bobs. But she sent me these stitch markers, and they're so novel and gorgeous. Hopefully you can see these without me tipping them out. Look at the colours. I love them so much. And they're little balls of yarn. And they've got an individual ball band on, which is real brown paper. I haven't used them yet because I've been saving them so that I could show them all together in their tin. But they will go in my knitting bureau now, and next time I start a new project, I'll be using one of those. The other day, I had a lovely trip to see Liz and Si at Nibbles Needles and Hooks, which is a knitting, well, like a yarny cafe in my local area. And if you're anywhere nearabouts Derbyshire, you can get here in a day. I would highly recommend it. Excellent coffee, excellent cake, fantastic selection of yarns. They always have different indie dyers on display. This month it is Moonlight Fibre Company, and her yarns are absolutely to die for. So definitely, and there's a bag maker as well who does these most beautiful woven project bags. God, I can't remember what the maker's name is now. If I can find it, I'll try and remember to put it in here. If not, and you're interested to know, just message me and I'll see if I can find out. It'll be changing soon because we're not far off the end of August. But always worth a trip there. Really nice selection of commercial yarn and indie dyed yarn and knitting and crochet books and things as well. But one of the things I've been meaning to get myself for ages is these little thingies. There's two of them. They are Chowgoo, what do we call them? Rubber grippers. They're like little rubbery flippity floppity hearts, and they're very sticky on this side. And they're for your interchangeable needles when you need to get a better grip for more purchase on the needle when you're twisting it on to tighten it up. They were £2.10 for two of them. So I can keep them in my set of interchangeable needles, and anytime I'm changing them over, I've got a little bit of extra grip to help me to tighten them. And the other thing that I bought, just because I really couldn't resist it, was this. This is Creative Make It Rainbow Glitz. And it's a very, very fine lace weight yarn. Can you see how thin that is? And the idea is, I believe, to hold it with another yarn. So like if you use it with a semi-solid or a solid yarn and knit it throughout or crochet it throughout, it would add a layer of rainbowy sparkle. And it's also got these tiny little slubs in it as well, which make the texture really interesting. And there's 50 grams here and 525 meters, so you would easily get like a 2 skein shawl out of that, which is brilliant. Would you? No. If you were doing a full 2 skeins, like using up all all of it, no, you'd need more than one. But if you were doing two partials, using a partial amount of 2 skeins to do a 2 colour shawl or whatever, then it would definitely go. So that's what I bought at Liz's. And then this was a little treat for Vlogtober time. A couple of years ago, I made a couple of these little cross-stitch tree decorations from Mill Hill. So I've got this one, which is a cauldron, and then I've got a witch's boot. They both say Autumn Harvest, witch's cauldron and Wander's boot. And they're full kits. They come with all the beads and the entrunclements, the perforated card and everything that you need to do those. So I shall be doing those a little bit once we're into Vlogtober time. And then I have 2 books. And I don't very often have books to show. This one was a sort of a happy birthday from me to me kind of book. I've had this on my wish list for ages. It's Crochet Impkins. Now, I'm not a great fan of toy making in amigurumi, but if I'm going to do one, I'm going to want to make some kind of toadstool hatted mushroom sprite. And it's a bit from, I've not read it thoroughly yet, but from what I can see, it's like a mix and match. You choose all your different component parts. So look, for instance, here you've got a whole selection in this section of horns and antler options. So you choose your body, you choose your head shape, you choose your headwear, all sorts of different things. You've got capes, caps, stalks, horns, beards. Look at this little dude. And it's, I should tell you, it's Megan Lapp is the designer author. L-A-P-P. But you've got one here that looks a bit like Cthulhu. One with a mane, one with a beard, one with petals on its head. It's a little bit bent because it's been in a bag full of goodies. So I'm going to get that laid out with something heavy on top of it because I don't like mistreating my books. My other book was a gift from my lovely long-term friend Leslie, who I met in real life. We used to work together, but we are long-term knitty crochet friends. I actually went to see her and her beautiful pussycat Steerie this morning for cuddles, coffee and knitting. And for my birthday, which was back in March, she gave me this. The Doodle Knit Directory. Now, I can't really show you the inside because it's full of charts. But, so it's I'll give you a very, very quick flash, for instance. It's all these different charts and it's done seasonally. So we've got everything. I mean, the autumn ones are gorgeous. We've got toadstools, leaves, acorns, more leaves, owls, foxes, pumpkins, cabins, Christmas trees, boats, all the different flowers, black cats, butterflies. So at the front of it is all of the charts. And then it's like a plug and play, plug the patterns in to make different. So there's a cowl, an infinity cowl. So you've got recipes and then you add, look, here's a doodle scarf. How bloody gorgeous is that? And that goes through the seasons. Hats, headbands, mittens, fingerless mitts, definitely going to be doing some of those. Ooh, I love these ones. This is a holly design. So I will definitely be experimenting with designs from that. Just need more hours to knit in the day, really, don't I? Actually, there's something which I bought at the Cumbrian Wool Gathering, which would tie in really nicely with that book. So when I come to it, I'll have to remind myself to talk about it. But before we get to Cumbria, we have to talk about Sheffield and the Wool Monty. So in here are my goodies. I wasn't too naughty. It all fits within like no more than half of a tote bag, which is quite impressive for me. I did buy a few presents and things as well, but I tried to rein myself in because there's a limit, isn't there? And some of these bits were swapped. One of these bits was a swap. Oh, I've got some earrings as well, but I've already worn those and they're upstairs. In fact, I had them on in my video yesterday. The little torch work, lamp work glass toadstools, they were by Flame Knits. All right, so I bought myself a tote bag. That was from the girls at Woolful, who are the people, the business that organised the Wool Monty show. I also, can you see that logo? It says the Wool Monty on it. You have to take the lid off. This is like a squishy, rubbery, neoprene kind of bottle. It doesn't smell of anything. It's silicone, BPA free. So you do that, the lid screws on, you fill it up, and then when it's empty, with the lid off, not with the lid on, it collapses down to become compact. And this, apart from being a really cool idea, reminded me so much of a toy that I used to absolutely love playing with when I was a little girl. Called they were called Popoids, and they were like very thin plastic versions of this, and they made the most amazing brain scratching noise ever. And I had a set, and you used the Popoids to join body parts together, so you had heads and bodies and feet and hands and tails and all sorts, and you used them to make all of these characters which you could then play with, so you were building your own toys, and that's what that reminds me of. So I decided I had to have one of those. And the other thing that I got from Woolful was a pair of needle stoppers. There we go, Woolful. And these lovely girls have a shop in the Peak District. I think it's in a place called Bradfield, but I might need to check my geography on that. Never actually been, which is ridiculous. And Leslie, who bought me the Doodle book, and I have both said that we need to take a trip up there to go and visit. So I'm not going to put these back in the bag because I can now put them away. This was a swapsy, and Helen from Giddy Yarns and I always swap every year. And this year I decided to go for something other than sock yarn, just to give me a bit of variety. So I went for this. Now I've seen Helen talk about this before. This is DK. It's superwash merino and nylon, DK weight. And it's a Christmas colourway. It's called, can you see that? Christmas Morning Chaos. It reminds me very much of one of my colourways as well. And I just thought, I really like that. And I could see myself making maybe a hat, maybe some mitts, or using it as colour work in the yoke of a jumper in the future. So that's it. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with that one yet, but I have many ideas and I will definitely do something lovely. So imagine a really nice, like a mint green Christmas cardigan with a colour work yoke on it or something. I love that idea. Mint green and maybe like a pale pink. That's not my usual wheelhouse of colour, but... Right, the next thing I treated myself to, or treated myself to, was a skein from Floof Fibres. I like to buy a skein from... God, I can't remember the lady from Floof's name. She's not... It's not called floof anymore. Just changed the name of the business and I can't flipping remember what it is now. I'd say Undead Yarn and that's not right. It'll come to me anyway. If you're interested and you want me to signpost you, if I forget to put the information down below, just message me or leave me a comment and I'll do my best to get back to you. Anyway, unseen fibre or unseen yarn, one or the other. Anyway, this is a Halloween colourway, Stop Blethering, and it's on Aaron. Can you read that? It's holographic label, Haunted Mansion. Now I did want a 4-ply skein in very similar colours to this, because I am collecting skeins of 4-ply from her for a hexie cardigan that I want to make for myself. However, she didn't have the colourway that I wanted. I'm seeing her, so I bought this on Aaron and I'm seeing her again at Yarndale at the end of next month. So I've asked her, will she bring it for me there so I can add to my cardigan project at that time. But this is going to be a hat. And I've just been looking for a pattern and I found a Kay Jones pattern. And I can't remember what is it called, the Joyful Hat? It's like a textured stitch pattern. And I'm going to make myself a nice autumnal Halloweeny sort of textured beanie out of that. Oh, I really love those colours. It'll go well with my hair colour. My hair's usually a little bit more orange than this. It's ready for dyeing. But I've got a haircut booked just at the beginning of September. And I'm not dyeing the hair that I'm going to have chopped off. So I'll wait until after I've had it cut and then dye it. Absolutely love this. This is just mouth-watering to me. That orange, that pink, that dark green. Love it so much. So that's that one. The last skein of yarn that I bought, having spoken about Moonlight Fibre, who is currently vending at Nibbles Needles and Hooks, I could not, this is sock yarn. It's merino and nylon. It's an 85 merino, 15 nylon blend, so slightly different. And this is called Cosmic Pulse. Those colours. I don't know what it's going to be yet. I sort of feel like I don't want to make socks out of it. I don't know. It doesn't matter. I don't have to decide now. I got some of these Yarniverse collector's cards. I only got 3. And these were a thing that the ladies organised, I think, from Wolful. And people were swapping these at the event. And each one has a different crochet motif square on it, and then you scan the QR code to get to the pattern, which is really clever. But I've only got those 3. If anybody's collecting these and they want the 7 of hearts, the 4 of hearts, or the 3 of hearts, I'm your girl. Let me know. I have a hidden fruitella that I didn't know I'd got. And the last thing that I bought was a set of buttons from Ethel and Joan. And these are so beautiful. They're hand cast resin. Can you see the colours? They've got colour, they've got texture, they've got interest. I love them. And I want to say Louise, and I don't think that's right. Why can't I remember? Honestly, I have a brain like a sieve, but the lady who runs this business is absolutely lovely, and she was my next door neighbour at the Wool Monty. So these are for my Daft Days cardigan that I'm knitting with my Advent this year. And I don't think I've got enough. I'm going to have to get some more. But I think she's going to be at Yarndale. So that's going to be on my to-do list. On my shopping list, I should say. Yeah, I absolutely love them. I could just keep looking at them. They were just like sweeties. And finally, I went to the Cumbrian Wool Gathering with my aforementioned friend Leslie. And this was June time? Either June or July, but yeah, maybe the beginning of July. I only bought from three different stalls, and I'm really proud of myself. Now, the first one relates back to the Doodle Knit directory, because this is yarn from a lady who has the most amazing encyclopedic range of colours, and it's Second City yarns. Now, these don't have labels on them, so I can't tell you what the composition is, but she had a carousel of mini skeins in just a rainbow, and then she had that rainbow in full size skeins. This is sock yarn. It's definitely a different composition to my normal merino nylon blend.
Oh my god!
Cause! Shh. Sorry about that. And I bought these to make pumpkins with for Halloween. But, and I mean, that's not even doing them justice. They glow. I love them so much. But these would just be perfect for colour work. They've got a nice little toothy grip to them. They're still very soft. I could definitely wear them against my face. In fact, I could do a Halloweeny. You see, I can't really wear these colours too close to my skin. Does nothing for my colour. Having said that, I do dye my hair bright orange, don't I? Yes, but I was planning on making pumpkin-y things with this yarn. It's so pretty though. It's just been glowing at me from the corner of the room for months. So that's that, and I think this would make amazing colour work yarn. And the next thing I bought was a couple of bits from Jo Pickle Lily. It was so lovely to see Jo and her husband. And I bought this sweet little summery yarn tub. It has toadstools, strawberries and flowers, which I love. And I have a matching needle cozy. It's just such sweet retro print fabric. I could have spent a lot more money. A lot more. But I was trying to be sensible because I'd already spent a lot the month before at the Wool Monty. And you can't have everything. And then I went and had a bit of a splurge. This is a new to me dyer. It's Penny Stitchcraft, hand-dyed yarn. And as I'm into my knitted tees, crocheted tees and things at the moment, I saw this and she had a crocheted tee on the stall made out of this yarn, different colourway. But I just loved the way it looked so much. It was like a granny stitch, but the yoke was, yeah, oh, I'll have to put a picture in if I can remember to, of what it looked like. I took a photograph of the label so I wouldn't forget. And this is the yarn that I bought. I bought 3 skeins of this. It's 100% tencel. And if you are of a delicate disposition, close your ears now, because the colourway name is Rocking Horse Shit. And it has so many, I mean, just this glowing purple shade against that turquoise. So many colours that I love. So I bought 3 of those. The yardage is 400 metres. So there will be loads there to make a top for myself with. And I cannot wait. But that's probably something that I'm going to do next spring or summer now, reasonably. So that's that. That's all of my acquisitions. Not many, as you can see. Oh my word. So the other thing I wanted to talk about briefly was shop updates. So if you follow me on Instagram or Facebook, you may have seen that today, which is Friday the 22nd of August, I've just announced the Halloween countdown box for 2025. I put an image in of the artwork and it's going to be the haunted... No, ignore me. I'll wake up in a minute, honest. It's going to be the Witch's Cottage. So, yes, I'm very excited about that. It's going to be launching in the Greenlambkin Yarn web shop, which is linked in the description below, on Sunday the 24th at 6 p.m. BST, British Summer Time. So if you're interested in one of those, set your alarms or make a note or whatever to go and treat yourself. If you've had my Halloween countdowns before, you'll know that they have 13 20-gram mini skeins of my sparkle sock yarn. Then they have a range of themed bits and bobs goodies. In general, it tends to be a project bag charm, a progress keeper, and a few other little bits and bobs as well. So I'm really, really excited about starting to dye those. I've had a couple of questions on the last podcast about my trick or treat pumpkin feet yarn, pumpkin feet socks yarn that I showed on the last bit of the podcast, and that is going to be coming into the shop. The next big shop update, which is not club related or like one-off box related or whatever, is going to be a Halloween upload. So that and all the other Halloween colours will be coming very soon. But I would say, if you're not already, subscribe to my mailing list. I'll put it down there. And make sure that you're following me either on Facebook or Instagram. And then you'll see when I'm going to be doing new uploads and things, I'll always put it on there. But, the other thing I wanted to talk about was US shipping and the new tariffs and everything. I'm speaking with some trepidation because I'm not a confident person when it comes to this side of business. However, some friends and I have been doing some research, and with some guidance from other local businesses and small businesses, it's looking as though, from what I can understand, it should be mainly impacting the customer on the US side rather than us as a small business. The way that it would impact on us is if we lose custom because people in the US aren't willing to take the risk. But basically, from Royal Mail's perspective, there's not going to be really much of a change in terms of cost to post, from what I understand. Now, I don't want you to take my word as read, because I've been wrong before and I'm sure I'll be wrong again, and I don't want to misinform anyone, but from what I understand, postage costs aren't going to be that different to us. But what is going to happen is it's going to be when the goods arrive in the US, that's when the customer is going to feel the effects of the tariff changes in an import tax sense. So I've had a couple of people contact me and say, are we going to be able to continue to buy your clubs? I have no intentions as we stand to stop sending to the US. I'm not going to promise that that's not going to change in the future, as and when we find out what's happening. As I understand it, things are still a little bit up in the air, and they might change their mind and make changes to the arrangements anyway yet. So I'm not going to do anything about it at the moment. I still intend to send to US customers, and the understanding is it's at your own risk, unfortunately. You may incur the charges at the other end, and I can't say what they're going to be. But if you're happy to continue to order from me and find out, then I am happy to continue to send to you. And if at any point that becomes untenable, if costings do change in terms of postage, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it, but I'm going to try it out. I'm going to step lightly and keep everybody informed every step of the way so that we're all finding out together. But I'm really hoping that we can find a way to make this work, because US customers make up quite a considerable amount of my sales. And I know I'm not alone in saying this. Lots of UK-based makers are exactly the same. And we love you and we appreciate you and we don't want to abandon you. And we know it's not your choice that this is all happening. So I know that's all a bit waffly and not really that informative, but hopefully I've got my point across enough to say that we're going to keep on keeping on as we always have done until anything happens which makes us think this might not be manageable. And at that point, I will inform people. So I'm sorry I can't say anything more concrete than that, but hopefully that's encouraging. If you want to carry on being a recipient of my goods, then hopefully that's encouraged a little bit, if that makes sense. Anyway, I think that's all I've got to tell you for the time being. I am excitedly planning things for Vlogtober. It's coming into my favourite part of the year, autumn and winter, on my bag baby, yeah. But hopefully I'll come back and see you before then, because we've got September. And I'd like to get one more podcast out before Vlogtober happens. If you followed me along with me this far, thank you very much. It's been lovely to spend another 42 minutes with you. And I will be back very, very soon. And until we speak again, ta-ta for now. Mwah.